Alright, Shalom, Shalom, it's the brother Kadash.
Shalom, Mr. Brother Quinat.
Start off by giving our praises to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash.
Back out here another day at camp teaching the truth. What are we on, bro?
Revelation 18.
Breakdown, just uploaded Revelation 17, so we just gonna keep going at it. Revelation 17 kind of gives a lot of the breakdown of Revelation 18. Revelation 18 is just like an extension of Revelation 17. It just kind of goes more into that destruction that Revelation 17 kind of broke down at the end. So Revelation 17 broke down Mystery Babylon the Great, right? The heads, the horns, you know, and then at the end of Revelation 17 it talks about the nations switching on Mystery Babylon and burning her with fire. So that's what Revelation 18 goes into, more of that destruction of burning her with fire and what's about to come. So that's pretty much what we're teaching, and we just going to continue going in on that. We had that brother come down last week. Hopefully he come down this week and start coming down more. Probably not, but you know, it will be a great thing, you know. So we just gonna keep going. We're gonna go off the phones this time because it is getting a little bit cold and stuff out here. So.
Revelation 18, verse 1. And it says, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Right, so we're going to break that down, right? And that's Isaiah 13. So the prophecy is that Mystery Babylon in the Bible is America. America is going to be utterly destroyed by fire. That's what the whole World War III thing is coming up to, the whole World War III with Russia, and then, you know, China's about to get involved with it, you know, North Korea and South Korea, America's on South Korea's side. That's what this is all leading to, that America is going to be destroyed by nuclear fire. In the Bible, the second death that comes by the way of fire and brimstone is going to come by the way of nuclear missiles that the Lord gave the world the technology to create. So there's thousands and thousands, maybe millions of nuclear missiles on the earth, right? It's not for no reason. The Lord gave the earth that technology for a reason, because those things are going to be used at an appointed time, and that's ultimately going to play in the destruction of Mystery Babylon, which is America, which is going to be destroyed by nuclear warfare, man. And then the prophecy is, because they spilled the blood of the Israelites, the true Israelites, which are the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. We are the true Israelites in the Bible. Since they spilled our blood over here, put us in captivity and slavery, even to this day, that no man is ever going to dwell on this land in America again. It's going to be nothing but wild beasts and animals that's going to dwell on this land. It's going to be a fucking desert, right? This is a precept, Isaiah 13, verse 17. It says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which should not regard silver, and as for gold, they should not delight in it, right? The Medes, right? And then when you go to Gog and Magog, this is talking about the Russians. So the Lord is going to stir up the Russians against them, and when World War III comes, America is going to get hit on their soil, you know, and the Russians, they're not going to regard their silver, their gold, their money, because the Russians, the whole reason for the war is that the Russians are trying to get away from the petrodollar, and they're trying to trade in their own currencies, you know, and they not fucking dealing with America no more. And then look at the debt that America is in. So people are jumping out of bed with America, right? At one point they were looked up to, you know, everybody wanted the American dream and wanted to do business with America, but now their allies are starting to switch on them. So that's the prophecy, right? They're going to turn on America and shoot nuclear missiles over here, and that's what we're waiting for. Verse 18, it proves it. It says, their bows also should dash the young men into pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of their womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, this is the #1 place on earth, the glory of all kingdoms, right? The richest place on earth, right? The #1 world superpower, #1 economy on earth, is clearly talking about America. It says, the beauty of the Chaldees' ecstasy shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So we know when the Lord overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, he rained down fire and brimstone on them, right? Out of the air, or maybe out of space or whatever. But now this time, that same weapon, right, which is going to get you the same effects. It's going to come down from space, but it's going to be by rockets, nuclear missiles, right? It says, and it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generations to generations. So eventually America is never going to be inhabited again. It's going to never be dwelt in from generations and generations. This place is about to be destroyed, right? We already see famines. We already see inflation. That's going to turn to hyperinflation, especially when China enters the war. That's going to turn to even worse, and things are going to get worse and worse for people until this place is destroyed by nuclear warfare from Russia, coming very soon. And a lot of people are going to die whether they have their opinions or not, man. You know, that's what we're waiting for. It says, verse 20, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their foes, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doubtful creatures, and the owls shall dwell there, and centaurs shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolation houses, and the dragons in their pleasant places, and her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. So that's the prophecy, right? So when they came to America, they got America. Then they thought they was going to have America forever. But the prophecy is in Malachi chapter 1 that they should build, but the Lord said he should throw down. So they built up America, Mystery Babylon Great, all for at the end this place to be destroyed. And why is that? So the Lord's name could be glorified. Just like during the time of Egypt. It talks about that in Jeremiah 23. You know, that we gonna be giving all praises to the Lord for him leading us out of captivity in Mystery Babylon, destroying Mystery Babylon. You know, rather than, you know, kind of like we were during the time when he destroyed Egypt. You know, so this is what's
I have my pizza food now. Revelations 18 verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
Yep, so what is that? Them getting in bed with her, man. You know, when America was in their prime, like Trump like to say, make America great again, you know, everybody was getting rich off this place. Why? Because America is a nation of consumers. Debt, credit. You see what I'm saying? Got the most debt. So these other nations are able to make things for cheap, bring it to America, and make profit off of it. You know, America has to outsource everything. That's why America has all these ports on the East Coast, West Coast, right? Because they have to import all these different things, man. Most of your car parts is made by like Chinese companies, German companies, and stuff like that. Most of the stuff in your house, most of the products that you have in your life is come from China, man. So these other nations are getting rich off America, you know. Just to move on, this Isaiah 14 verse 1 it says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and a stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for service and handmaids. So just like the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, we became slaves. The people that took us to slavery is going to become slaves. This is one of my favorite precepts to bring out when they say, oh, and the white man's not the Edomite. Okay, it don't matter who he is. He took us to slavery, he's going to slavery. Right? Verse 2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for service and handmaids, and they shall take them captives who captives they wore, and shall rule over their oppressors. So whoever took us in captivity is going into captivity. That, you know, that's the cut, the /Christian/Hebrew internet warriors. Verse 3, it says, and it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, that thou should take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, right? This is future prophecy. And say, how has the oppressor ceased that golden city ceased? So it's not talking about ancient Babylon, it's just talking about a future prophecy, right? And that's what we're going to be saying. How has it ceased, right? It says, the Lord has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in his wrath with a continuous stroke, he that ruleth the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindered. That's what's about to happen. And who runs the world with anger? If you don't do what we say, we put sanctions on you.
Right.
If it goes any further, we're gonna invade you like they did in Iraq and shit like that, and come over there and kill your people and destabilize your country. Who does that? Who's number one on that list, man? America, because all the other nations really just following the ways that America has set up, the war ways and everything.
Yeah, even not even only the war ways, they set up the war ways like the brother was talking about, but they even go so far as adopting the ways that their ancient fathers and forefathers dressed and did business with certain other countries, and then came into the ways that America does, right? And that's that wine that the Lord is talking about.
They set the rules.
Yeah, they set the rules. This is Isaiah 29:9. It's a stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. Right? And it's verse 10. For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed your eyes, the prophets and your rulers, the seers, hath he covered. Right? So verse 9 is talking about when it says they are drunken, but not with wine. What are they drunken with? Right? The doctrines, right? The ways of America coming into what they believe, like the way they do business, the way they dress. Now you see like China, right? Just
the way they build.
Yeah, the way they build. China, so to speak, right? They don't even wear the long robes and stuff like they ancient forefathers and stuff used to do, right? So now what they do, they wear suit and tie, right? That's because that wine they are drunken off of from Mystery Babylon the Great. Get back into it.
Yeah.
Revelation 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues.
And that's very important. Does it mean flee? Is that talking about the flee doctrine, flee America? No, because the elect is going to be saved from Mystery Babylon. That's the prophecy, right?
Right.
But this is 1 John chapter 2. This is more like spiritual. Come up out of her and her ways. Don't follow Thanksgiving. Don't celebrate Thanksgiving that's coming up. Don't celebrate the Day of Dead and Halloween. Don't celebrate Christmas, Santa Claus. It's not found in the Bible. Like, that's worshiping false gods, pagan gods, right? Don't follow those ways and the wicked ways. Don't eat pork even though they tell you you're supposed to eat it. Don't eat your beef with blood all in it even though they say that that's the ways that they supposed to do things. Don't get down with the ABC boys. You got to come up out of her spiritually so you don't get plagued when she gets plagued. And that's why it talks about whoever should lose their life for the Lord shall find life. But whoever tries to save their life and try to be a part of Mystery Babylon, they gonna end up losing life. So when that MO, you know what I'm talking about, when that mark when the Karagma comes out, man, people are gonna be trying to take that to save their lives. In Revelation 14, starting at verse 9, you're gonna end up losing your life for that. Because the Karagma kind of wraps it all together. Because you need that to get you're gonna need that to get your food, you're gonna need that to buy and sell. So you're gonna need that to get your food, you're gonna need that to get your drink, you're gonna need that to get your clothes and everything. That's why in Matthew chapter 6 it says, don't seek after none of those things. The Lord knows what you need. It says seek after the kingdom of God first, right? Now this is 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. It's gonna tell you why. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but of the world, right? Why? Verse 17, the world passeth away and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of God abide forever, right? So come up out of Mystery Babylon because it's going to pass away, and the lust thereof and the glory of Mystery Babylon, all that's just going to pass away because it's going to be destroyed by nuclear fire. But you got to seek ye the kingdom of heaven first. Seek the Lord first, right? Like it says in Zephaniah chapter 2. Seek the Lord first, right? Here, you got a precept or?
Yeah, I'm trying to get it up.
All right, this is Zephaniah chapter 2. While the brothers are getting that, verse 1: Gather yourself together, yeah, gather together, O nation I desire. Before the decree bring forth, before the day passes a chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you. Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgments. Seek righteousness, seek meekness, it may be ye should be hid in the day of the Lord's anger when he's going to destroy Mystery Babylon. Don't seek the wickedness, because that's what Mystery Babylon, the abominations of the earth, that's the cup. Don't drink from that cup.
Right.
Drink from the cup of righteousness.
Yeah, because Mystery Babylon, right, so-called America, don't see, like the brother was saying earlier, they don't see no ending into this this kingdom of theirs, right? And so really what they don't know is that the Lord is preserving them, letting all of their sins build up for the day of judgment, and then he gonna take care of them, right? But if you ask them, from all the bloodshed that they got on their hands, and all of the fornication, all of the wine that they made the other nations and the people of America drunk off of, right? They don't think that they're gonna see no judgment for that, right? So this is 2 Maccabees 6 verse 13. It says, for it is a token of his great goodness, and Salakia, for it is a token of his great goodness when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished. Right? Verse 14, for not as with other nations whom the Lord patiently forbeareth to punish till they be come to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth he with us. Right? And that's what America is going through right now. Right? The Lord is letting them come to the fullest of their sins until the day of judgment comes, and then he just gonna destroy them, worse than any other nation he ever destroyed before.
Khan, just like the brother said, that they don't think that they're going to be punished, right? This is Jeremiah 49, verse 12. It says, for thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. Who is talking about? For I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, a curse, and all the cities thereof should be a perpetual waste. When this same Basra is talking about America, when the same Mystery Babylon is talking about America, when it's talking about spiritual Egypt, it's talking about America. It says, I have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent to the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her and rise up to the battle, right? Because all the other heathen is going to turn against Mystery Babylon, man, and destroy it. So that's how you know it's talking about Mystery Babylon, even though it's that Basra, because it's talking about the heathen gathering against her. And where else do we read about that at? In Revelation 17, in Revelation 18. You know, many more scriptures, right? Habakkuk chapter 2. Verse 15, for lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men, and the terribleness has deceived thee in the pride of thy heart, O thou that dwellest in the cleft of the rocks, that holdeth the height of the hills, though thou shouldst make it thy nest. Could you get Psalm chapter 10 if you can?
Yeah.
Thou makest thy nest as high as the eagle, right? They have an eagle, that's their symbol, they bird, they animal symbol, right? And they're sitting high above all the other nations. They're sitting on the top, right? When you look at the EU nations and NATO, who's sitting at the top? Who's the great heart that's riding that beast? America, right? It says, I will bring thee down from this, say the Lord. Also, Edom should be a desolation. So we supposed to be teaching and getting on Edom today? Yes. You know, because that's what the prophecies talk about. And what are we supposed to be doing? We're prophets. We're supposed to be prophesying. So in order to prophesy, you have to talk about Edom. Also, Edom should be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it should be astonished and shall hiss at the plagues thereof. And then remember this, it said the same thing in Isaiah 13. As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, say the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall son of man dwell there. Meaning what? Just like Isaiah 13, it's just going to be wild beasts that's going to dwell there, because this place is going to become a desert land.
Hey, I got a question.
And that's prophecy that was fulfilled. You know, you said that's my mom.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, she don't need that one like that.
Oh, she don't. What was you saying about the other nations?
They're going to turn against Mystery Babylon and burn it with fire, like it's saying in Revelation 17.
Okay, so now it's this alliance. It's this alliance that's been formed. I'm not sure how long, but it's referred to as BRICS, BRICS. I don't know if you heard about it.
Yeah.
But it's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa all is in bed with each other.
Yep.
Right.
That's their enemies.
Yeah.
That's their ops. That's NATO ops.
Yeah. Right. And yeah, so that's what the brother talking about. Like those could be. Well, we know Russia, right,
Yep.
and China. You know what I'm saying? I think South Africa is one of the newest members of this alliance.
Yeah, because China invested a lot of money into South Africa. So they pretty much, South Africa is in the pocket of China. So they pretty much allies.
Exactly.
But then you know Iran, you know North Korea, you know, and you know Russia and China's joined at the hip pretty much, you know. So yeah, but then the big prophecy is that even the NATO nations, a lot of those nations over there in Europe depend off Russia for their resources.
Right.
And a lot of them will switch. The Saudis and shit, they make a lot of money off selling oil to Russia too and doing business with Russia. And there's already been rumbles about them switching, man. So a lot of those different nations will switch too. And they're gonna join alliances with Russia and their alliances, and they're gonna end up destroying this part, right? Can you get Psalms 10 at the top?
At the top, yeah. This is Psalms chapter 10, verse 1.
Because remember it said they pride, right? In Jeremiah 49.
Why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? The wicked and his people doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
The Karama is going to be the biggest one that they going to have imagined that they going to come with. Let them be taken in those devices, right?
Verse 3, for the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous whom the Lord abhorreth. Verse 4, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts.
He will not seek after the Lord, right? He's thinking about merging man with robots, if we can even say all that, you know what I mean? He's thinking about
cheating death.
Charagma. He's thinking about, you know, those certain things, you know, we can't really mention, but that's what he's not thinking about the Lord or the Lord's people. He's trying to wipe us out if he can. He's thinking about building the kingdom of heaven for himself, right?
Yeah. Keep going.
Yep.
Verse 5. His ways are always grievous, thy judgments are far above out of his sights. As for all his enemies.
And his ways is always grievous. Former President Donald Trump, he did a press conference or a rally. He did a rally to announce, you know, he's running for 2024. And one of the things that he said during that rally is that anybody that sells drugs or that's caught selling drugs should get death penalty. He's trying to he's running on that campaign that if he gets in office, he wants to sign a bill saying that anybody that sells drugs, I heard it on his own mouth, I heard the clip, anybody that sells drugs and get caught selling drugs should get the death penalty. That means if you out here and you go make a little flip and you just did the wrong thing, you made a mistake because you in harsh poverty, and it's going to get worse with inflation, right? And famines is only going to get worse. And you pick up a rock and you go make a little flip and you get caught and you get set up, you're going to be facing the death penalty.
Potential death penalty charge.
Yep.
And then don't let your background already be fucked up. That's going to be even more reason for them to give it to you.
So you could be potentially going to be put to death, lethal injection. So now this is what's coming. These grievous ways, they're about to start showing their teeth. They want more control. They don't like the shit that Ye was saying. They don't like the fact that Ye could just come out and say something, or Kyrie could just come out and say. They don't like the fact that we could put up videos. They don't like the fact that even if they take down all our videos, we can still come out here on the highways and byways, and they come out here to set up to take pictures and shit, but they got to see the Hebrew Israelites out here telling them that this place about to be destroyed that they love. Well, they don't like that shit, man.
Facts.
They finna try to come with control. They finna come with the teeth, man.
All of them amendments that they made, you got to think they made those amendments. They could take them away, right?
Yep.
They what is it, the first or the second amendment, right? You know what I'm saying? Freedom of speech. They finna try to take all that shit away.
The Second Amendment, the gun laws, they trying to take those away. They want control.
So it's the First Amendment then.
Yep, the First
the
Amendment.
freedom of speech.
Yep. They trying to take that away. You could clearly see it, you know?
That's why I brought that up, because what you were saying, that they hate how Kanye West is just so openly speaking,
on certain
you know what I'm saying, on certain things. The same with Kyrie, right? I'm gonna reread that Psalms 10 verse 5. His ways are always grievous, thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them.
He puffing up. Who's his #1 enemy? Jacob, the Israelites. Right? And he finna puff up at us even more. He's finna come down with that control. Ain't shit you gonna be able to do. And your only salvation from it is through Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh. That's it. A lot of y'all different groups think y'all tough, y'all ready to fight, y'all ready to do this. I get it. Right? Y'all want to go hand in hand with Esau, but y'all gonna see who the Edomites really is when he started to show his teeth, man. When he started to come down with these grievous laws, that's going to be Jacob's trouble. When Jacob's trouble come, a lot of those dudes, those Christian / Hebrew internet warriors, you know, because they like hybrids, right? A lot of them going to wake up to the truth, man. And that's a great thing, right? Because a lot of them going to wake up and say, man, you know what, bro? Man, oh, this he really is the Edomite. Because look at the shit he doing when that shit started to affect y'all girlfriends. When that shit started to affect y'all wives. When that shit started to affect y'all mothers and y'all fathers and y'all church pastors and preachers. A lot of y'all gonna wake the fuck up and say, man, no, he really is the devil.
This the evilest motherfucker.
He gotta be the devil.
What?
Yeah, he shutting down shit. He making it harder. He putting people to death. He making these laws up out of nowhere. Yeah, y'all, it's about to get real, man. And the only way you can do it is by coming up out of her, you know. And some people may have to pull the Judas Maccabees retreat. That may happen. You know, the Lord sets that up for you. But at the end of the day, your only salvation is gonna come by the way of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. You got to preach something for it.
No, not really.
We got to still go in Psalms 10.
That was verse 5. Verse 6, Psalms 10, verse 6, he hath said in his heart, I shall not be removed, for I shall never be in adversity.
So he think, man, look, this place ain't gonna never be destroyed. If the dollar do collapse, we're gonna come with a new system, you know, an internet of all things, a digital coin or you know, currency or whatever. He don't think he ever gonna come back to the bottom. Keep going.
Verse 7, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
We can leave it right there, but yeah, that's what he's doing, mischief and vanity. You need to do this and do this because of this, which we ain't gonna speak about that shit. But you know what we talking about, you know, at this point. And that's why you gotta be in the truth. So you can learn things, so you can know things, so when things start to get censored, you can already know what we talking about, man. So you can't put it off and just wait, man. Very few men is gonna come in at the last hour, but there is gonna be men that's gonna wake up at the last hour. But I wouldn't bet my life on it.
Revelation 16 verse 6. I mean, Salakia. Revelation 18 verse 6.
I got one right. Yeah, go ahead and go.
Okay, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, doubling according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled to her double.
Right, so that's going with Jeremiah 49. They surely should drink of that cup. But like it says, those that dwell in the cleft, right? This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 3. The pride of thy heart, since we talking about the pride, right, of America, Mystery Babylon, right, of thy heart has deceived thee. So them being a glorious kingdom, all that prideful shit, it deceived them, man. Because if they really wanted to make things right and try their best, they restore everything they took from the Hebrew Israelites, right? Which mean they would restore basically all the lands and the rulership and rulership over the whole earth, give us all the silver and gold, right? And they would become our slaves for putting us in slavery, and they would voluntarily become our slaves if they really wanted to make things right, right? That'd be their best bet, you know? Maybe there'd be a little leeway that, you know what I mean? But they prideful, right? So it says they don't even want to give us reparations and shit. They don't care about none of that. They like, man, shut up and get over it, right? They trying to wipe out the history and say a lot of things didn't happen the way it happened, right? It says, whose habitation is high, that say in his heart, who should bring me down to the ground? The Lord gonna do it. Verse 4, it says, though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. The Lord's gonna bring you down. And then you gotta finish off that chapter. It gets real, you know, it's a real heat in there.
I got a precept to that too. This is Jeremiah 25 and 15. It says, for thus saith the Lord God of Israel unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it. Yeah. And they shall drink and be moved and be mad because the sword that I will send among them. Right? So just like the brother was saying, they don't think that they never gonna see any adversity, right? But the Lord cup full of wine, right? That cup that the Lord got in his hand is full of fury, right? And just like he poured his fury out on us for not following the law, statutes, and commandments, he's gonna pour his fury out on the nations for what they done to us, right?
Yep. Great precept, yep. Great precept.
This is Revelation 18, verse 7. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow.
Remember, we just read that in Psalms 10, right? They pride, they feel like they'd never be in adversity and everything.
Right.
We just read that in Obadiah 1. They should sit high on the cliffs and they feel like they ain't never gonna be burned down to the ground, but it's gonna happen. You know, that's how you know we putting this all together. You know, the right way. Prophecies.
Revelation 18 verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord God who judgeth her.
Which is gonna come by that those nukes, hypersonic, mid-range, wherever it be, man, nukes.
Verse 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning.
Why? Because they was getting so rich. You know, China got so many. They talk about China having so many million. It got probably more millionaires than America got over there, and billionaires. They got so rich off America, man. All these other nations sitting back, just doing business with America and just getting rich.
Yeah.
So at the same time it's destroyed. At the same time they're gonna be like, damn, there go our money, man. Yeah, we
America
getting
was a
so
sweet
rich.
lick, what?
Yeah, sweet lick. You know, keep going.
Verse 10, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, the great city Babylon, the mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come.
Yep. And they got nuclear missiles. I think the Satan 2 they was saying could reach over to America in like 45 minutes or some shit like that. 45, that's all the time you got. First of all, the first 30 minutes you ain't even gonna know it's coming. Ain't nobody gonna know it's coming.
So you know how fast those things gotta be traveling.
Man.
They can't wait to get over here and blow this motherfucker
Fast. Could reach Washington D.C., man. So you gotta think about it like the first 30 minutes you ain't even gonna know. You probably at home playing Xbox. You probably at work working. You ain't even on your phone. You probably working, picking up some shit, doing some shit. And then the last 10 minutes, sirens and shit start going off. If that.
Right.
If that, you know, and then you like, what the fuck's going on? And then you see everybody scrambling, people that was paying attention to the news and everything,
Yeah,
people
because
running
now
and
at this
shit.
time, you could probably see that bitch in the sky now.
Yeah, all
You
you
know
gonna
what I'm
do is
saying?
you're gonna see everybody scrambling. You're gonna look up and see a bright star in the sky, something
And that bitch gonna be
twinkling in
coming.
the sky,
It's gonna be coming this way.
and you're gonna say, "Damn, what the hell is that? Is that a chariot?"
And then you gonna hear,
And it's
ah!
That
And then it's
missile gonna come
too late.
down.
You got 5 minutes at
So
top.
if you're lucky, you right in the middle of it when it hits, so you just get dissolved. You don't feel nothing.
Right.
You just get dissolved. That's it.
Man.
If you lucky. Cause you don't want to be out on the edge of that motherfucker and then get radiation poison, shit like that. A
Suffer.
leg blew out, but you still alive and dying slowly. You know, hey man, shit coming. We warning y'all.
Revelation
Come up out of
18,
her.
verse 11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
Just broke that down.
Verse 12. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thine wood and all manner vessels of ivory and all manner vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble.
Right. So if you wherever you say Mystery Babylon is on Earth, you have to show that that country, that place, actual place, geographic place on Earth is trading with all those things that have all those things. We know America clearly has all those things.
Right.
We don't know that the Vatican City is trading by all those things or have all those things. Especially not in the big way that they're trading with all the other countries and kings of the earth. No, they get little shit imparted into, you know, where they at and shit like that for reasons, but not on a bigger scale, man. This is talking about big scale when it's explaining this. That's why I started to list all those materials.
Right.
Talk about big scale business, America, man.
And cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men.
Slaves and souls of men. We know America do a lot of business with wheat, right? I mean, it's clear. It's right there in front of you, right? All you gotta do is open your eyes, man. And then souls and slaves of men. We know that America did a lot of business, a lot more business than the Vatican City did. We know America did a lot of business with slaves, right? We had something called the transatlantic slave trade. We had slavery, slave blocks. We got something called Wall Street. Souls of men, right? So I got a precept. And then I was talking to a guy that I know that's from this city, right? That knows he an Israelite at least, right? Seem like that's all they know.
One isn't enough.
Right, and he was saying that Mystery Babylon is the Vatican City, and I asked him, okay, I gave him a couple precepts like these ones, and I said, look though, but wherever the Mystery Babylon the Great is an actual geographical place. That's what I told him, and I said it's the place where the Israelites were going to slavery, and I was like, can you show me all 12 tribes going to slavery in the Vatican City, right? And he said, no, well, it hasn't happened yet. So you mean to tell me this isn't our last slavery, that we all gonna go in slavery again in a place that only has a population of a couple thousand people? Like, see how dumb that shit sound, man? And he knew when I gave him, he knew it was the truth, but he wanted to fight it, right? Because that's not the doctrine he learned. Rather than hearing the truth and taking the truth for what it is, he wanted to fight it and say, nah, it's the Vatican City because of this, because of that, because he has ulterior motives, man. We out here just to teach the truth where it is. It's so much stuff about the Bible that we had to get down with, even that we probably didn't agree with coming into the truth. That we had to rebuke ourselves. The truth is a two-edged sword, right? So that sword hit us too, coming to the truth and rebuked us and reproved and corrected us. They don't want to be corrected because they have ulterior motives. They don't want Esau, the white man, to be punished, man. When it comes down to it, yeah, they say those people over there in the land, they say that they're the Edomites and stuff, but they scared of this man that's here in the land that's over them right now. Yeah, that's who they scared of.
And anybody that they see, and anybody that they see coming out here going against that man is something got to be wrong with you.
They love America. Yeah, they really love America. They talk a little bit of shit, but then they shut that shit up because in reality they really love America. Right? They don't want America to be destroyed. I seen one of the guys that he used to learn from, right, that they all used to learn from and big up. He did a sit down and he was talking about how America was going to be healed. Like, you a clown, man. Where does it say that in the Bible?
Right.
The Lord is going to destroy America. If you know anything about prophecy, if you know anything a little bit about the Bible, you know that the Lord is coming back to destroy this place. It's called the second death. So why is you giving all praise to the Lord for healing America? You should want this place to be destroyed. You see?
Man, the Lord is not for America. That's what people got to understand. He's not for America. It was too much bloodshed, and the way that this place was gained, he just not fine with it. Yep. You know what I mean? Like
you did a video on that, did you?
Yeah.
Yep. That
exactly.
The Lord is not for America?
Exactly. Matter of fact, let me bring out a precept.
Yeah, I got one too. Here, I got mine right here. This is Daniel chapter 9. I want to start at verse 11. It says, yeah, all Israel has transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us, right? So we went into slavery because we didn't obey the Lord, the 12 tribes, right? It says, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses and the servant of God, because that oath is Deuteronomy 28. If you follow my law, statutes, commandments, you're going to have a kingdom. You're going to be in rulership. If you don't, you're going to go into captivity. That's pretty much what it breaks down to everything that involves with that, right? Because we have sinned against him. So we did the part where we didn't follow the law, statutes, commandments, and then that's when you've seen us go into captivity. Verse 12, and he has confirmed his words, which he spake against us, right? Because he said, look, if you don't keep my law, statutes, commandments, this is going to happen to you. Evil towards your brother, you know, being taken in captivity against a strange nation in a land that wasn't that your fathers didn't know. You know, the whole Revelations, being taken in slavery on slave ships, by the way of ships, never seeing your land again, and then when you get there, you're gonna be sold for slave man and slave woman, and no man shall redeem you, no man shall buy you or save you, all that, right? It says, against our judges and judged us by bringing upon us a great evil, for under the whole heaven has not been done as has been done to Jerusalem. There has been no slavery under the whole heaven that has been worse than what happened to the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, the 12 tribes of Jews.
This is Isaiah 54 and 16, right? Because the brother was just saying that he had a talk with somebody, and they were saying that the Lord is going to heal America, right? Here goes a precept to cut that. This is Isaiah 54 and 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, right? Mm-hmm. And that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I created a waster to destroy, right? So the Lord said he created a smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, right? Yep. So now he created a certain people right? All right, let's go into a smith. What is a smith? Right, you think of like a locksmith. You know what I mean?
Or a weaponsmith.
Or a weaponsmith, right? So now, there's a certain people the Lord gave the knowledge to somebody, right, to create these nuclear missiles that's going to be used to destroy this place.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's the purpose. That's the purpose of the missiles. A lot of people don't know.
Yep.
The purpose of the missiles was to execute the Lord's judgment on the day of judgment. Right? And then it says, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn.
And who is the D? That's the elect. So the elect gonna be saved out of that destruction. But the people that's not elected, that's like their name is not written in the book of life, they not gonna be. They gonna have to, so yeah, like a weaponsmith create weapons. They form them. The Lord gave these scientists, really these Edomites, the knowledge to create something called nuclear missiles. You know, it advanced over time, atomic bombs, and then over time, even now today, you got hypersonic, right? So the Lord keeps giving them that technology to advance them, all for a certain day. It's all for a point in time. Matter of fact, it's all for a point in time. I got it right here. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch. I will set me upon the tower. I will watch the sea, but he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved, right? And the Lord answered me, he said, write the vision and make it plain upon the tables that he may run it that read it. So we making this plain upon the table. You might hear this, you might want to take off running. You know, just like a lot of these Christian dudes, they want to take off running because they don't want that to happen to America. They scared, right? It says, for the vision is yet for a appointed time. It's for a appointed time. Even the technology that the Lord gave the world is for a appointed time. It says, but at the end it shall speak. So at the end we seeing, okay, damn, the Satan 2 just been created by Russia. They got nuclear torpedoes or whatever, submarines. Damn, North Korea just tested a nuclear missile that was built for America.
Low key, while people playing, that's because it's all the will of the Lord, right? That's what people don't understand.
Right.
These places that's testing these nukes, that's an indirect threat to America. Like, oh yeah, look what we got. You know what I'm saying? Because you know America set themselves on high. They think they the biggest and mightiest, and that nobody gonna bring them down.
Right. And they build these things with in mind. This could reach America. Can it get to America?
That's always the goal.
That's the goal.
It's always the goal. Them people hate America, bro.
So today is speaking now. We can see it now.
Facts.
We can see like, okay, damn, okay, so this is what this is. This is talking about nuclear missiles. This is their ops, their opposition. This is what's going to be. Yeah, we can see it now. It says, and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it surely would come. It would not tarry. So it's tarrying. Right, we seen the war with Russia and Ukraine, but we all know in the back of our head, hey, World War III is coming. We know that, and we know when World War III comes, that America's homeland is going to be touched. It says, but his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith, to come up out of her and live by faith. Yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keep it at home, who enlarges his desire as hell and is as deaf and cannot be satisfied, but gather into him all nations and heap into him all people. Where's that? Mystery Babylon. America, where all nations come together and live as American citizens. You know, for more than any other place on earth, right? So he gathered together all people, right? But he didn't keep it at home when he came to America. He was exploring because he knew about the Bible prophecies. They knew about the Bible, and they knew the Israelites went to a land where no man ever dwelt, and they wanted to come over here and take all the riches in the land and put the Israelites in slavery and get vengeance, right? And then even when he got America, he still don't take stay at home. He all over there in Iraq. He all over there fucking with Iran. He all over there getting in China business with Taiwan. He all over there getting in North Korea business with South Korea. All over there in Japan. All over there dealing with in Ukraine on the border of Russia. So he all in everybody's business. He probably he didn't keep it at home. Just worry about home. Yeah. Just worry about America.
Shit,
no, but
he all the way together here.
He all the way over there worried about shit. You got hundreds of millions of dollars to send to Ukraine, but you ain't got no money to take care of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that's in poverty here in America. You see the bullshit?
Yeah, that's like a man, right? Got a household, and his household, his family in his household, and that he got one household, right, that's not all the way intact. They ain't consistently keeping food. He ain't take care of his bills. He behind on his bill. But he over here worrying about this household.
Yeah, trying to get more wives and shit like
Yeah,
that.
you know what I'm saying? When you ain't got your shit together at home. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like, he over here talking about making new policies where if you sell drugs, you get the death penalty. They figuring out ways to take link from people, get people off unemployment, take your daycare away. You know, you can't just put it under anybody's name. They worry about little bullshit like that, man. Taxing us out the ass when tax time come, but you sending hundreds of millions of dollars over there to a war that really ain't got nothing to do with you. He a problem man. He don't keep it at home. He getting in everybody's business, saying, I'm gonna get in your business. I'm gonna do this, do that, and that's what gonna cause this place to be destroyed, man. It says, should they not should not all these take up a proverb against him and a tunning proverb against him and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long to him that letteth himself within play? We know that goes to Rome, but America is Rome all over again. That deadly wounds heal, right? Verse 7, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be booties unto them, because thou hast spoiled many nations. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of man's blood, and for the violence of the land and of the city, and of all that dwelleth therein. So what's going to happen? These other nations are going to switch sides, and they're going to join their opposition, and they're going to come together, and they're going to destroy America. Habakkuk chapter 2. Let me keep going in that Revelation.
Yeah, Revelation 18, verse 14. And the fruits that thou so lust after are departed from thee, and all these which were danity and goodly and are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. Verse 15, the merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of the torment, weeping and wailing.
Yep. And they going to know that the Lord is going to be behind it. It talks about that in Revelation 6, the last verse.
And saying, at last, the great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. Yep. And every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off.
So it's talking about the richest country that earth has ever known. I mean, it don't take, go on Google and look at what country has the most gold. America's gonna be #1 and got more gold than the next 5 countries in line put together. It's the richest country on earth. That's what it's talking about. Clearly America. If you can't admit that, then you ain't reading the Bible the right way. You ain't getting the understanding. The Lord ain't dealing with you, because that's very clear. That's something that we all should easily agree on. You got ulterior motives if you can't understand that.
Verse 18, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city?
Yeah, because if it was the Vatican City, somebody could say, yeah, New York was better than that. It was richer than that city. New York richer than that. They could say Washington, D.C. Shit, they could say Saudi, Dubai. So no, it's talking about America, man. What city was greater or richer than America?
Verse 19, and they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, that great city wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her. Verse 20, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God hath avenged you on her.
Right, so we gotta rejoice that we are rejoicing that these times is coming.
Right.
We want these times to come, man. We want this place to be destroyed. Right? It didn't say that's the patience, faith of the saints. This is Revelation 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Didn't it say rejoice over her holy prophets, that the Lord has avenged us? And what is the vengeance? That those that led us in captivity ain't gonna go into captivity. Those that was killing us with the sword, they gonna be killed with the sword, but it's gonna be the #1 sword, a big sword, a nuclear missile, which is still a sword. Sword just means weapon.
Verse 21, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great milestone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall thou great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be no more at all.
Can you get Psalms 149 for me? come down, it's gonna be no more at all. Just like it said in Obadiah chapter 1, to bring her down to the ground. You know, and the Lord said He will do it. The Lord's will do it. So what we supposed to do? We supposed to wait on the Lord. Verse 1.
Psalms 149, verse 1. Praise ye the Lord, sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise in the congregation of saints. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king.
And that's who the saints are, right?
Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp.
We gonna sing the song of Moses, like it says in Revelations 15. What was that? Exodus
15.
Matter you like 32, or that was Exodus 15.
Yeah, the song of Moses.
Song of Moses. Yep.
Yep. Verse 4. For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation.
Yep. It's for his people Israel, like it just said. His people.
Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds.
We gonna be singing, boy. We gonna be singing.
Let the high praises of God be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand.
Yep.
To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people.
So not only is the Lord gonna avenge us, He gonna give us vengeance. He gonna let us get vengeance, His people. So the Lord getting vengeance and His people getting vengeance.
To bend their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron.
What did it say in Revelation 13? Those that took us in captivity should go into captivity. What did it say in Isaiah 14? Those that was captives over us, we should be captives over. Or take them in captivity. Those that oppressed us, we should oppress them. Or
take them
oppressors.
captives who captives we were.
Yep.
Verse 9. To execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints.
This
Praise
is
ye
an
the
honor,
Lord.
man. Didn't it say this is the patience and the faith of the saints?
Yeah.
Didn't it say in Revelation 18, rejoice? This is an honor to do this. You dudes that don't want to get down with it, hey, you just not right for the job. You're not fit for the job. You're not noble enough, man.
Yeah, you wasn't written in the book of life.
You're not a king. Keep going.
But that was it on that.
Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead.
Trying to see. How many verses is it in Revelation 20? In the one in 18. Ain't it like 24? Yeah, I know where I was at. It's just that my phone did something and I ain't seeing no more of the verses. I think we on 22, but see if this shit
Might be. Let's go. Just type it.
No, we got two more verses. I'm on 22. It's 24. Revelation 18, verse 22. And the voice of harpers and musicians and of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee.
And that's important. Let me get a precept for that. Because where do you hear that at, right? This is Ecclesiasticus, right? Let me see. Chapter 12, Ecclesiastes, not Ecclesiasticus, but Ecclesiastes, right? Chapter 12, and I want to go to verse 1. It says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. Zephaniah chapter 2, seek the Lord, right? It says, nor the year draweth nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, which is what I said earlier. Don't wait till the last moment, man. I wouldn't bet my life on it. You gotta get it right now. It says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, because that's what's about to happen. It's going to be darkening because those nukes are going to go off, right? It says, those nukes are about to go. Verse 3 says, in the day when the keeper of the house should tremble, the masters, the rulers, the Edomites is at top, they're going to be fucking trembling, man. It says, the strong man shall bow themselves, even their army men, right? Luke 19, verse 27, those that should not bow to the Lord, bring them hither in front of me and slay them in front of me, roughly paraphrased. It says, and the grinders cease, the workers, because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened, right? And the doors shall be shut in the streets, and the sound of the grinding is low. Ain't gonna be no more sound of working. It's gonna be low. It says, because inflation, famines, death, mourning. It says, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music should be brought low, right? And that's the point, like it said in Revelations. Literally, the music gonna stop. Music, the industry, the entertainment, the rich ones, the ones that's sitting on high, all that shit gonna come to an end, man. You ain't gonna be making and putting out an album. You ain't gonna have Lil Durk putting out an album, Lil Baby, whoever, putting out an album when this shit happens, man. They not gonna be on the highways and byways like, hey, I just made my new album, cause you ain't gonna have no internet, man. You ain't gonna have no electricity to record. You ain't gonna be on, hey, look, I come hear me on the highways and byways, do my new little rap. They ain't gonna be doing that shit, man. They gonna be trying to survive just like everybody else gonna be trying to survive. So all that music, love, hip hop shit that y'all love, that shit gonna be over. Seeing LeBron James go dunk the ball and shoot the ball and play basketball gonna be over because you ain't gonna have no internet. The grid's gonna come down. The power grid's gonna come down. Look at, if you don't believe me, look at what's happening in Ukraine right now. They ain't hosting no basketball games over there. Motherfuckers not putting out albums over there. They grid is being taken out. People don't have power, electricity, water, and food over there. People are starving to death over there, man. That's what they not showing y'all because they don't want to scare y'all, man. But that's coming to Mystery Babylon. That's coming to America. You're not gonna be on Netflix, man. You're not gonna have Netflix and chill no more.
Facts.
You know.
And no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee. It's like the brother was just saying, and the sound of a milestone shall be heard no more at all in thee.
That was it.
Yeah, on that one, yeah.
Let me speak that, but no craftsman. So you ain't gonna have people making Yeezys. You ain't gonna have people making your new Nikes. You ain't gonna have the new Jordans coming out. Y'all gotta understand this is about to happen. So that's why I said in the beginning of the chapter, come up out of her. So you receive not her plagues, because all that vain shit that you worshiping ain't gonna mean nothing no more. You ain't gonna have it. Go watch the movie The Walking Dead, man. You gonna be out there going from place to place. Go watch the Book of Eli. Go watch I Am Legend. Go watch I Am Legend 2 when it comes out. You gonna be going from place to place looking for food, man, resources, band-aids, alcohol, medicine, food, water, clothes. That's what you gonna be going from place to place looking for shelter, trying to survive. You ain't gonna worry about no Nikes, man. You gonna see a new pair of Jordans in the house. If you don't need no shoes, you gonna walk right past those.
You're gonna be worried about more sufficient shoes that's fit for your
Boots.
hike that you gonna be on.
Yeah, shit.
Oh, them Jordan, man, fuck that. Look at them thick bottom boots right there, though.
Steel-toe boots. I need them, man.
Real life.
You ain't gonna be worried about that other shit, man. You ain't gonna be worried about a bundle of money that you just ran to some cash. That shit don't mean shit.
It's literally gonna be used probably for tissue.
You can probably use it to burn fire.
You feel me?
You ain't gonna worry about that shit. You gonna be like, man, where the canned goods at? You gonna go straight to the kitchen looking for canned goods and band-aids and shit. For little wounds and shit you got, man. You ain't gonna be worried about that no bullshit, man. You see, you run past a Ferrari, you might take a look out, look, that's a little Ferrari, and then you gonna keep going. Ain't nothing I can do with it. Ain't no gas in it.
Exactly. That motherfucker don't mean nothing no more.
Don't mean shit no more.
A lot of shit gonna be like that. Yeah. Only thing that's gonna mean something is what you gonna eat, making sure you got what you need to survive for the day and the days to come.
Especially if you got a family to provide for still. You're gonna be trying to get that food to take care of your family. You ain't gonna be worried about that extra shit, that dumb shit that motherfuckers be worried about. You gonna be, man, fuck that. Where the food at? I got kids and shit to take this food back to. They starving. They ain't ate in 24 hours. This shit coming, man. It's coming. We prophesying to you. It's coming, man. We wouldn't be out here saying it if we really didn't believe it, man. It's coming. You ready?
Verse 23. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all.
Man,
in thee.
you seen The Walking Dead. You seen he was still popping his wife. She had a baby and she died. Man, you not finna be getting married and shit, man. Like in the way that America does. You not finna, she get a white gown. You run into a man's hardware store and you steal you a tuxedo out of it since all hell done broke loose. Y'all find a place, y'all get all y'all family together and y'all do the reunion and y'all come together. You give her a ring. You ain't gonna be worried about that shit, man. Your girl ain't gonna be like, are you gonna marry me? She ain't gonna be putting that pressure on you to marry her during this time. All y'all gonna be worried about is getting some food, man, and getting some drink and getting some shelter and being safe and not getting killed or not getting a disease or whatever. You can't, but pesticide or whatever.
Right.
That's what you're gonna be worried about. You ain't gonna be worried about, hey, baby, we need to set up our marriage. You know, tell your mom, your grandma, and everybody to walk down to this field, and we gonna do our ceremony there. You ain't gonna be doing that shit, man.
None of that shit gonna mean nothing. That's when it's gonna take for something like that for people to realize what actually means something, because the stuff that's gonna mean something then is what's always meant something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, we've been poisoned
Yep.
with the wine of this great whore, and now the people see past, you know what I'm saying, all of that. You know what I mean?
You ain't gonna be worried about no fucking Bitcoin, man.
None of that
I
shit.
need to check on my trades, man. I gotta check on the stock market. My stocks, I gotta sit on my stocks, man. I gotta keep checking on my stocks, man. I seen dudes on the internet. It was like a couple years ago, or whatever. They was talking about, man, you should get in the stock market. Yeah, it's big money right now. And then recently, a week ago, I seen one of my guys that was heavy into investing into the stocks. He's saying, man, I took all my money and I ran. Exactly.
Smart.
But what he ain't gonna tell you really is that he took some losses.
Right.
He gonna make it seem like he good, like I got out before. I made a whole bunch of money. I got out, took my money because he want people to glorify him. But he ain't gonna really tell you, man, I took some fucking losses and this shit. This shit bullshit. It's always been bullshit. He ain't gonna tell you. You ain't gonna be worried about no Bitcoin, man, during that time. You gonna be worried about food and real things that you could touch, that you could survive off resources.
For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by their sorceries were all nations deceived. And in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth.
So wherever you say Mystery Babylon at, you have to show me where the saints, the prophets, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the children of Israelite, blood was literally slain there in that geographical place. I could give you one place that's very easy. America. We're gonna leave it off there. That was it.
Yeah.
We're gonna give our praises to
Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakradash. Shalom.